Alright, so we are live to Discord right now. Say hi to Discord.
What's up, Discord?
It's busted.
Busted down with the sauce for real, goated, low key, no cap.
Yes, perfect. Exactly.
A bit of lag.
A little bit of lag. That's okay. I think it's mostly because we're
Something
streaming.
just got subtlety. What was it?
It was a patchwork automaton. Alright.
Okay, interesting choice.
Okay. So, no, it was the force of will getting the subtlety. Alright. We're
Oh, the
on
subtlety
it. We're
got
on it.
discarded to the force.
All right, sweet. Well, I mean, for the YouTube people, welcome. Obviously, we're coming a little bit late, but that's what we're doing. We're playing it live today in round 3. We're actually watching the two top players, Jake on 2-0 on Shops and Eric 2-0 also with Blue Moon. And I'm joined here by Jordan. Jordan, how are you?
Yeah, feeling good. Feeling great.
Excited to
How
watch
are
some
you?
magic? Yeah, fantastic. Thank you for asking.
They always ask where you are. They never ask how you are.
Exactly. We saw your game previously on footage, and now you have the benefit of coming and doing a little bit of commentary yourself.
Yeah. Maybe redeem myself.
Yeah, I think you can. I think also with the Force of Will, we're down to 20 to 17. So we're just updating live totals right now.
Joust, interesting there.
Yeah, this is a great start for Jake. I mean, Jake's had an uphill battle while we've been sorting everything out, and it doesn't stop there. So Force of Will get the Patchwork Automaton, Mental Misstep get the Soul Ring, and now this Force of Negation has got the Chalice. Like Eric is, he does not want Jake to play today.
Down a lot of cards though. Now he's probably just sitting on things that can't really cast, and eventually Shops will just be able to outrun the counter spells that you have, because every single one of those 3 mana plus cards is just a must answer threat.
Yeah.
Like if it's not your, chalice, or it's your, can't kill that, or it's a ring, or it's something else, like.
Yeah, Jake's got a lot of cards that they're all must answer threats, and I think that's what. And that's that. Just to complement what you were saying before, of course, is that Eric's got to fight through next threat, and then the threat after that, and then the threat after that. So it's like it's going to be
The
hard.
format in general too, like there's just so many cards. Like each deck is full of these like 30 cards that is must answers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're starting to get pointed into oblivion, obviously, but also like we can see the sort of uphill battle that Eric has to fight, being the control deck. That his answers have to be as good, and I mean, we kind of see that. I mean, there was a lot of free spells in Eric's opening hand, and that's kind of what he wanted for those initial turns.
Definitely.
And
I think in games 2 and 3 it gets a little bit nicer too, where you have access to cards like Brotherhood's End and whatnot. But
yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll see what Eric's packing on the sideboard when we eventually get to it. But again, another just a remand for this one, but still really stopping Jake, slowing him down, preparing himself for the next turn. And that Thought-Knot Seer was not able to enter the battlefield this turn. Ooh. Okay. This is an interesting opening. I like the way the Ragavan plays, where you can hold it, sandbag it in your hand for as long as possible, and then just whenever you have an opening, dash it in. It only costs you 1 mana really, because you get that mana back, and then maybe you cast something random off the top of your opponent's deck.
I feel like it's to get some mana here, hold up counterspell mana.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see. Yeah.
You need up to the life totals, my boy.
Yeah, really up to it.
Ragavan hit for 2, so.
Oh, that's right. So we go to 18 on Jake's side, and then stubby fingers, and then.
Some shenanigans happening here with the TKS trigger on the stack.
Okay, interesting. So we did let the TKS resolve.
Yeah, it's resolved.
And we did attack a little bit as well, so we'll go down here. So a little bit pinched for mana, not able to equip that Shadow Spear, but we see in Eric's hand Ragavan, Lightning Bolt, Chandra, Torch of Defiance, and Unholy Heat. So now we're on the removal side of Eric's Blue Moon package.
I wonder if it's the line there just to equip the Shadow Spear and just attack with the Edge Champion. Like it's pretty much unkillable at this point, and just pressuring your Blue Moon player to
do something. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good idea. I think Jake's is like, maybe he saw, because Eric decided to remand it. Yeah, he's like, maybe he's holding on to something that I do want to see, and he kind of does. I mean, this is like an interesting scenario where some of these cards kill Thought-Knot Seer as well. I mean, sorry, just on Holy Heat and Chandra, but I guess if you have 2 of them, like, I don't know, it might have been worth also just Unholy Heat in response. I believe he has Delirium by the looks of it.
I think that's what he was thinking of when he said TKS trigger on the stack, deciding whether or not to unholy heat there.
He decided against it, but he did keep that unholy heat, so he will have it in his back pocket. It's just going to be really difficult to get rid of this Etch champion. It's just 2 mana. It's just 2/2 at the moment, but it might be all that Jake's going to have access
basics
to.
here, but it's not going to do too much because he's just dying on board to, what's that, 7 power now?
Yeah, you have. I mean, you have the mana for killing TKS. You're getting. It looks like there could be a equip of a Shadow Spear here as well. Every land is like a Lotus Petal for Jake. He has to.
And the Mind Stone on the board gives him an extra mana.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, that's interesting. Equipping to the TKS, which could get killed in response here off the treasure.
I guess he's going to let it go. He can't. Unholy it is up to 6, so he will be able to do it at any point. But I'm not sure if you. If he's just taking it, he's taking the damage. So it's like it's five to hit. It's not nothing. But I don't know what else you could be holding up the unholy heat for.
Less than 8, right? Because the Edge Champion's 3 and the TKS is now +1/+1.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. I can't believe this thing is also attacking. So we go down to 6. Is that correct? 5 and then 13. Anyway, we're doing it live, folks. We're doing it live.
Life totals? 23 to 6.
Oh, and we have, of course, gained some life as well. All right. Thankfully and badly, the players are within earshot, so we can give them all the terrible plays that we would do, and hope for the best. But it seems that they are very helpful, at least for getting that life total.
To play the monkey and not, which he has trample, it can't block the all the cards at hand are known.
We'll have to see what Eric has in mind here. Don't want to, I guess, theorize his plays. We see most of the cards. We see all the cards in his hand. He's only got Lightning Bolt and Lightning Bolt and the Unholy Heat.
Is what, a 4/3 originally?
4/4. Yeah, so quite large on its own. It's in. It's
Maybe he
nice.
Didn't have Delirium?
It's impossible to say, but all that we know is that we're going to go into game 2 now. See if we can change to hand cams and have a peep at the chat and see if there's anyone in the Discord who's talking and conversing.
One the other way, my friend.
Oh, right, you are. Eric was so good. He managed to get that game. Just kidding. All right, sweet. Thank you. Doing it all live. Let's have a look here.
Liam, Big Liam.
Big Liam in the chat. Yeah. To the characters. So hopefully we're online. It seems that we can see most things if this is not paused. But yes, we are live here, so we're just testing things out, obviously. Stress testing our setup.
Getting ready for Cam Brawl?
Yeah, maybe. It's I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but you may see us in the commentary booth at Cam Brawl. Not this weekend, but next weekend. It's coming right up.
Wow.
Are you playing?
No, I can't play, unfortunately.
Oh, shit. What?
Prior commitments. No, I'm down the coast.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Should be good.
You're going to miss a banger. It's,
I've missed every one of Pat's tournaments just by like having the last
having
one was
a life.
The last one was on the day of my soccer grand final, so which we
Did you win?
lost.
Unlucky.
I know, it's a bummer.
Unlucky. Close?
It was close for a time.
Okay, good to know.
Turned out to be like Bant Beans versus Eclipse in the end.
Yeah, sometimes it happens.
Just got run over.
Unlucky.
Never been run over? In general, hit by a car?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. You know
try
what?
it sometime.
I tried to duck under the garage door as it was closing, Indiana Jones style, and got caught halfway.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of like getting run over.
Yeah.
It hurt, but I was strong about it. I was really brave about it.
Someone's talking.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, no, maybe
That's all right. We have currently have the desktop audio all the way down, so you can scream to your heart's content, and it won't show up on the recording. We'll put these up later on YouTube at CBR MTG or youtube.com/CBR MTG for fans of correct URLs. But yeah, going into the next game, that was pretty good performance by Jake. It's actually Edge Champion really showing his strength.
Yeah, Edge Champion is a beating. Honestly, it's just a true name nemesis in an artifact deck. Really hard to deal with. Evade so much removal. You can't block it. It's nasty. And you put
It's
a Shadow
huge.
Spear on that or a Cranial Plating, and you're off to the
Cradle
races.
plating and metal system as well. Like
Yep.
there's actually not a small amount of equipment in that
And
stack.
it's so easy to turn the Edge Champion on, but really hard to turn it off, which I think is the problem. Like you can't, once they've played to the board, you can't attack the enablers for that card. It's just you have to find some way of
find some way of doing something.
racing it, essentially.
It's not impossible. I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword with cards like Brotherhood's End and all these like mass artifact destruction. Like you want to play those artifact lands because it's really hard to get rid of lands, and it really easily turns on your Edge Champion. But Brotherhood's End and you lose all your lands, and it's pretty bad.
I think the Shops deck is always playing, just like, you can see Academy there in hand. Like those lands, just you need them to turn that card on.
For sure, for sure. Going on the top view, we see Jake's. I know Jake's Shops deck a little bit, and his previous iterations. He does enjoy putting a workshop onto the battlefield every now and then. But something that's a new-ish addition is just like a really light splash of green. There's nothing fancy, but Beseju is like just a main deck land that you can play that you don't feel bad about having. And obviously, like Nullrod's pretty prominent card available to a lot of decks. And then if not that, Stony Silence, Collector Oof, like there's all these cards. I mean, Beseju doesn't get Collector Oof, of course, but just upping the amount of protection that you have from those threats.
Yeah.
Really strong, really strong.
Legislator there, it's a pretty good play, but no second bauble or spell there.
Again, another card that really benefits from those play your cards really early, do as much as you can in those early turns. Like a lot of decks in Highlander still playing 2 baubles. I don't think we've hit the 3rd bauble yet. I don't think there's any good ones after Mishra. No,
this is an interesting turn. Playing the Legislator and getting punished there, having the counter magic in hand.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Pierce ends there, and then getting chaliced.
Yeah.
1/1.
We are.
Those spells are offline for the rest of the game.
Yeah, we are partially within earshot of the players, so we'll try and keep as much secrets as we possibly can. But yeah.
Oh, there's no way they're hearing
that. You're right. You have
to.
Yeah, I can hear it. All right, we're gonna say lots of secrets, but very close to the mic.
Okay, exiling the bauble there, which is pretty good. It'll trigger your Shredder.
Yeah. That is a guaranteed trigger for Shredder.
After an iteration?
After the iteration, yeah, absolutely. So, nice. It's not 1 mana. I think Chalice, I'm not sure if it's mainboard or sideboard for Jake, but pretty good in this matchup. There's blue-red decks that it's better against, like we see like Prowess is really popular.
Yeah.
And that deck plays, the percentage of 1-drops is huge comparatively to Eric's sort of Blue Moony list, but yeah.
One call engine off the top there. Doesn't have Eric not having to worry too much about that for a little while. It's going to take a long time for this Shredder to get up to a worry that's dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to know about, and Jake obviously very politely showing the commentary team and then his opponent, even though his opponent was the one who tapped the Mishra's bauble.
It's a small Tolarian Academy, only 2 artifacts on the field with Ottawara and Basic Forest there.
Yeah, it can happen like that sometimes. I think a little bit of Tolarian Academy as well in like Affinity, but in Affinity you're like happy to play Bonesaw and Memnite and Ornithopter, all these things that power up your Tolarian Academy.
Eric's really grateful here after that second cranial plating there, triggering the
of course.
Ledger Shredder. But the Unlicensed Host is going to be a bit of an issue as it starts to eat away at the graveyard, turning off spells, Dig Through Time, Treasure Cruise, Murktide Regent. Those kind of spells that these Blue Moon decks play where they need their graveyard.
Yeah, and you were mentioning before that it was like kind of unlucky the timing, having to tap out to play that Ledger Shredder and then getting immediately punished by the Chalice of the Void. But we saw Thought Scale go to the bin, we saw Spell Pierce go to the bin. It's like at least Ledger Shredder's like pulling its weight in that aspect.
Yeah, like filtering the cards.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think in this moment too, you just want to see as many of your red removals, damage spells as possible.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we have in red.
That's a great draw there.
That is a great draw. Yeah. So we're going to turn off turning off the Tolarian Academy as well. We're getting in for what I believe to be 3. Might be 3 for the second time around.
3.
Yeah. So we're gonna say 15 because the turn before. Yeah. Okay. We're good.
15 plays 19.
Okay. That's right. All right. So. All right. So.
That's a really great draw there, Jake. Just naturally drawing the Besage off the top.
Oh, and that's what we were just talking about before about that benefit. I mean, we'll try and keep it a secret as best we can. But it is nice that Jake does have the one basic mana, basic land to untap. I know that shops are notoriously greedy for basic
Pretty
lands
brutal. They're
count.
not drawing another land to be able to use it. So it has to wait at the mercy of the deck here.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward having both a vehicle and an equipment, but no one to wear and drive those things. So we're kind of yeah, as you said, at the whim of future draws.
Takes another 3 there. So chipping away with the shredder and passing the turn. Eric holding up.
See some cards.
Here we go. We get to see.
Yeah, so we do see the land that is a Blink Moth Nexus. Jake's still sort of maybe he still has to draw some more lands before he finds us out. But I see with this card in hand, and he's also
Oh my god.
instantly.
Halo might.
Yeah, I know. Sandbagging the Haywire Might as well. We have like a couple of cards that are exactly what Jake would have been looking for in this matchup.
I think also too like waiting to play the might so that you can activate it in response to any kind of removal. Definitely
Yeah.
playing the turn before opens it up to things like two mana spell that can kill it. But I
Yes.
think also the chalice turns his own Haywire Might
Oh,
off, right?
of course. Yeah. Yeah.
So unless you're chalice checking your opponent, you're not really.
Yeah, well, chalice checking yourself, a little bit more illegal
Yeah.
than chalice checking your opponent. So we are not getting rid of the chalice this time. We are getting rid of the back to basics, and now Jake will be well and truly free with quite a bit of mana actually. So this could be his turn. Besage really showing what we were mentioning before, where it's like it's instant
I
speed
think
as well.
he's attacked as well, so now on a 9.
Oh, of course. Oh no, we just attacked before, I think, right? Oh, I think we went from 15 to 12. I'm almost positive.
Are you on 9, Jake, or 12? Yeah.
I swear,
Because they
swear
passed the
this is
turn
the
and
last time.
Besage.
Oh, right. Ha ha ha. It's easier, of course, when you're sitting next to the thing and you're watching the game without commentating, but that's what it's like when it's live here, fellas. That's what it's like.
You, I knew that he was on 9. I was watching the game.
That's right. Sorry. I mean, for other people other than me. Another cyborg card. So we're seeing cyborg cards from both sides. But this is a big one for Eric. Hercule's Recall.
Oh, that's an amazing rip there.
Great rip, and that will release the chalice from the grip around Eric's one drops, and perhaps if he's doing this at the correct time, it looks like we're just doing a sorcery speed. I believe it's an instant speed spell, but maybe he's not wanting to let Jake have his Tolarian Academy fully turned on, and just taking that time to play at sorcery speed. Jake's next play coming up.
And then still holding the old LP or so in the.
Oh yeah,
in
it's
the
nice to
hand,
have that.
if a bigger chalice tries to come down.
Yeah, of course. That's like a really interesting point. It might, if Jake decides to sort of change tact and play a chalice on
Or
2.
even just to soak up some of the mana so that if you're playing it, you have to, while the Tolarian Academy isn't tapping for anything.
Yeah. We got all his dust in Jake's hand. We're in a nice space. This was the opening that we were mentioning before. The chalice has been released, of course, and now the Haywire Might can come back down, and maybe this is the time where we'll see chalice on 1 again. No, back to Hearse. So we get the Ledger Shredder trigger again for the 3rd time Ledger Shredder triggering. I like the butt on Ledger Shredder. It's nice when it first comes down as a 1/3, but even if you get 2 counters, damn, like
a must counter spell, especially if you're playing a deck with the Snapcaster Mage with your Hercule's Recall in the bin, you can't let a Hearse resolve.
Yeah, absolutely. And we seem to be triggering Ledger Shredder
again. Second trigger on Eric's turn now because he's cast 2 spells.
Yeah. I wonder what his second spell was. Maybe he did it in upkeep. It must be an upkeep with the Hercule's Recall. Because that would have been the second spell, yeah. So this is our discard and pop. That's enough. That's all we had to see. So Eric takes up that second game, and I think it did matter who was on the play and who was on the draw that game for sure.
And back to basics, definitely back breaking there on the play from Eric.
Yeah, super nice games from both players.
Great recovery there from a position where a lot of games would have just lost into that chalice with a handful of one drops. So
100%.
the Legislator, even though opening up to you, get punished like that, still got him out of the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's great.
Going into game 3 now for both players. Jake perhaps making a last-minute change going into
Not
game 3.
inconsequentially that Jake missed that land, that turn with the Visage and had to wait a second turn.
Yes.
To do it.
Yes, really, really lucky that Visage worked out in his favor.
Yeah.
And I think that sort of shows what shops, like a really weak part of shops. And like, I mean, you're going to get back to basics no matter what deck you are. So it's not necessarily a shop-specific hate piece. But Jake did have that possibly even main deck answer waiting in the wings with that Visage. So I think that's like a nice thing to do from the shops player.
Yeah, definitely. Got standstill fan in the chat there.
Oh damn! I see. See a couple of people joining in. Hopefully, the quality of the commentary and the quality of the gameplay, of course, streaming at a huge 30 FPS, if not more, 21.29. So yes, of course, the next step is figuring out how we can get this in a nice place where we can watch good content. We're not beholden by Australian internet. We're not beholden by the power of any one laptop can provide. And we might even see some tournament level footage happening out of this space. So watch this space.
Watch this space.
Yeah, absolutely.
Consider it watched.
Thank you so much. All right, seeing opening hands here, trying to keep our information hidden.
Shops player.
We see, say, a Ragavan and a couple of nice ones. Some bangers here, nice and slow. That's it. Oh yeah. Oh, that was. No, you're perfect in every way. Yeah. Again, the benefit of having the players so close is that we can sweet talk.
Wow, you really
them.
kept 7 lands? That's crazy.
That's crazy. Jake coming in for his mulligan to 6 here. And we'll see if the 6 was any better. He is on the play here, so we'll be able to possibly keep like a really fast hand, try and put something out under those cheap counter spells. But he does have to make some really strong decisions here in regards to how he's going to how he wants his hands to look. Yeah, exactly.
And we see a couple of really powerful cards in there again. That old ex-champion.
Should be enough. Yeah, there's a couple of nice ones there, and we are getting a card to the bottom by the looks of it. The Kappa Canyoneer.
Yeah, I think it's gone back to the
zone. It's one of my favorite put to the bottoms. No. All right. We almost did. We almost kept that 6-lander, put the turtle to the bottom.
City of Traders is pretty risky there too. Like if you're.
Yeah. I mean, it's always risky, but that's like the power of City of Traders.
In a shop deck though, you need to keep your lands around.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. It's such a high risk of that mass artifact destruction that having a land that also sacrifices itself just for fun.
Yeah.
Not good.
5 cards then. Do we see anything better? We see a couple of cards in there.
Yeah, I see a couple of bangers here. We got Mox Opalin, we got a Khan, we got a Basic. So we can really, I think, an Expedition map as well. This is a really serviceable hand by the looks of it. I see a Lodestone Golem out of the back.
It was 7.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to have to make some tough decisions with this card on the far right.
Will it ever be?
Whether it's worth keeping. I mean, we got a flash of a really nice couple of cards, so it looks like we're keeping it. This is a 5-er, but it's really serviceable. This is like a really nice one.
Pretty strong hand.
Yeah.
Golos to the bottom of the deck there.
All right. And starting us off, let's see some high quality gameplay here from both players. Starting us off with an Expedition map. Great start. Yeah, absolutely. This is like the timing is like kind of awkward. I think if you have fast mana, it becomes better. But with Expedition map, if you want to play it on turn 1, crack it on turn 2, you're actually not getting a good land until turn 3.
Workshop there is pretty crazy.
This changes the equation a little bit. 4 mana, Lodestone Golem. This is great. This is exactly what Jake wants.
Especially into a Ragavan on the board, there's just not really too much that your opponent can do from this point.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a little bit painful being an X3, but Ragavan, famously a 2-1. But that is not going to
an
matter.
incredible draw there.
Yeah. By the looks of it, a damage spell enough to get in with that Ragavan.
Flame Slash it had to be. I
Oh,
think,
Flame
'cause
Slash.
Bolt.
Oh no,
Lodestone's a
Lodestone's
4/3?
a 5/3, would you
Okay,
believe?
yeah.
So huge
Caves
body.
Of Chaos Adventurous style.
Yeah.
What makes spell
It's
cost 2
happened.
more?
Well, it's happened. Yeah. It's non-artifacts spells cost 1 more to cast.
Yeah.
It's like it's just awkward that 3. If it was 4, like Flame Slash obviously doesn't care, but if it was 4 toughness, it actually beats like way more than 3.
Yeah.
Which is kind of awkward. But I've had that happen to me before, where you like played a Lodestone, feel pretty smart about it, and your opponent just pays 2 mana to remove it and moves on with their life. So
Especially with the Ragavan on the board.
this is really awkward. But as far as 5-card hands go, I mean, I don't think you could ask for anything
So
better.
I think Eric's on 18 and
Oh, of
Jake's now
course.
16.
Yeah. Live totals, I can't believe it. 2 hits from that Ragavan.
And a shock on turn 1
And
from
a shock on top. We're live here, baby. All right, perfect. So 16 plays 18, 2 hits from the Ragavan, 1 shocking
pretty good
hit
start
of
from the Shops player though. I think they either drew the workshop or did they have it in opening hand?
He had it in an opening hand, yeah. So he had the line of Expedition turn 1, Lodestone turn 2, regardless of what he drew.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of just seemingly not drawing anything too exciting, one of them being the Mishra's Factory, I think. So we have something. I mean, Urza Saga is going to be great. This is like, I mean, terrible against Blood Moon, terrible against Back to Basics, terrible against Magus of the Moon, but otherwise, fantastic.
Yeah, really powerful card.
Making 2, like you're already locked for that 2 constructs every turn if you're not really doing anything else.
And you're right about this Mox. It's looking like a bit of a liability here, not really providing too much value. Not online at the moment.
Yeah, we see the downside of these sort of like bigger shops players is that Tolarian Academy and Mox Opal, like they're not always on. You know, it's like if you're playing like sort of lower to the ground shops or like aggro shops, your Mox Opal almost always on.
Yeah, you're playing a lot of things to the board.
Ooh, this is a great one, and we have a reader here, both on Eric's side and our side. This is Tomb of something. Scroll of something.
Oh, is it?
It's something. Anyway, it gets the initiative, and it's a mana rock. There you go. Nice one. So one of the lesser known initiative gathering cards, and something that makes you think maybe you want to play 2 basics in your deck. And we'll see if Jake, he looks like he's looking, so he might have a basic in his deck. Yeah, he's playing 2, and that's great because if you're playing an initiative card, it is nice to have the second one. Yeah, absolutely.
This is a pretty good draw, but in the face of a Ragavan, you're not feeling too confident about keeping that initiative around.
Yeah, I mean, Jake has the opportunity to factory. Never mind, it's all done. Yeah, I mean, in regards to keeping the initiative, it's like all over because we have the Fairy Mastermind come into play. We have at best 1 blocker with the Mishra's Factory.
If there's no removal spell sitting in Eric's hand, anything does it here.
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like he is going to try and make that trade. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, it's not looking good.
Ouch.
And so he's taking a fair bit of damage here.
Yeah, despite the snowiness. Oh, wait, hold on.
He doesn't have Delirium, so it's just been tapped to make it bigger, so it keeps the workshop around, but it's still taking a lot of damage.
The snow does save us. We, as you said, only dealing 2
Jake
damage.
Can get initiative back.
Yes, yeah, that's a great point. And not losing a land is always a good thing. Yeah. But he does lose the initiative at this point, goes to 12 by taking 4 damage from this Fairy Mastermind and the Ragavan. We're going to get a Ragavan trigger here soon. But I think we're just resolving our Enter the Dungeon trigger.
And Eric's just got so much mana here that he can afford to tap out and hold up 2 mana and treasures for a counter spell for whatever comes down.
Yeah, this is a great space for Eric to be, and really, again, showing the value. Well, showing the value of Ragavan, even at 2 points, is really kind of like powering through this game. And okay.
Oh, that's brutal.
For the low price of 4 mana, you too can have 2/3 of an Unholy Heat by being able to cast it twice. But that's all Eric needed. I mean,
he's just putting on the board. Now the Saga can start to make the constructs, but they're going to be not big enough to really stem this bleeding.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think, as you said, we need an extra mana. We've got some mana, likely enough to do make the construct. But as you said, it's like protecting the ground. We might stop the Ragavan if Eric doesn't have another answer.
Mishra's Factory can't be used on the Urza Saga?
Um,
Workshop?
Workshop dead. It's dead. We got unholy heated. The workshop, not the factory. I get them too confused, of course. But no, workshop taps for 3 mana, but only to cast artifacts.
Okay, so you can't be using that. So
Yeah. So I was thinking of factory when you said workshop, but yes, you're unable to activate abilities.
it does have
Unfortunately.
the 2 lands in the basics that can be used to make
Yeah.
a construct.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we do. Yeah, absolutely. So we have the basic. We have slightly obscured by the glare a basic island.
Yeah.
So we can make our construct. Jake has 2 cards in hand, but it's still not enough to stop everything. We might stop the. It's going to be a 3/3, so reasonable
2 counters on
stats.
the Fairy Mastermind. Now it's now 4.
Oof, it's quite large indeed. Fairy Mastermind. Sometimes feeling a little bit dinky. It's like funny to compare Fairy Mastermind to like Orcish Bowmasters, where Bowmasters seen like incredible play. 2 counters. Let's put this to 8. Lovely. You see Bowmasters like played in a lot more decks than Fairy Mastermind, but Fairy Mastermind growing great. It's like drawing extra cards. We'll see what's coming next. But
Ponder on top of the deck there.
Ponder.
Off the Mishra's Bauble.
I see. Looking at our own deck, fantastic when you just want to have a little looky-loo. What's coming up? So we're going to Jake's upkeep. Yep, Jake's draw step. Fantastic. These players know how to draw a card of Mishra's Bauble, and you can tell it in their plays. We've seen Eric actually around a couple of times. Jake's been around the scene for quite some time, but I've seen Eric placing well at events and at least having a really fun time. So
I used to play Standard on Ravnica, and Eric was playing then on one of those classic no-win con Esper control.
Interesting. That was a good time
Back
to be
when
playing no win
Nexus
con
of Fate
control.
was around.
That is a really great time to be playing control, and
Unlike in this format where
well, I mean, I think I guess you're the expert on blue white X control.
I
but,
wouldn't say I'm the expert.
Well, you're out of us two. I think there's expert status impending, but I feel like it's coming into a really nice place because everyone's playing to the board. So if everyone's playing to the board, you should just be playing most of the board wipes, right? But,
Yeah, I think they're just a bit too slow considering people playing to the board on turns 1, 2, and 3 in a way that accelerates on the curve compared to traditional. But there's definitely merit in those strategies. I think they're very strong.
Yeah, of course. Again, Mishra's Workshop looking a little bit awkward here, not able to equip the Shadow Spear. Jake wants to equip that Shadow Spear ASAP. I mean, I guess the Tomb is a mana dog, so we might actually see
with the Mox now online.
Yeah. So we will have the opportunity, and looks like we gave Jake that idea, I'm sure, because he's going to equip and maybe even attack. Okay. Eric, of course, has a response, as Eric is one to do.
He's going to draw a card with the Fairy Mastermind, so he's going to draw 2, actually, because Jake will draw a card and Eric will draw a second.
Really cute synergy with that. I mean, obviously, it's to facilitate the other part of it, but 4 mana draw a card. We saw Spectral Sailor see like a little bit of play in some formats,
Well, 4 mana draw 2 cards is pretty nice.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's kind of the clincher as well. All right, so 4 mana here. Ooh, Traxos. This is a really fun one, and in the beautiful old school border, 4 mana 7/7 with Trample. Does not untap unless you cast a historic spell. Unfortunately, Jake's deck chock full of historic spells. But again, Eric showing the value. Hopefully, you drew that off the top because that would feel pretty nice. But yeah, days off the top to stop that Traxos from dealing even more damage. But
it's crazy how quickly the Shop's deck can come back from looking what is just abject ruination and put a really commanding presence on the board and start to attack for a lot of life.
Yeah.
Because it's gaining that life back too with the Shadow Spear, which is a really powerful card.
This is huge, yeah. And we see this play pattern in Modern and we see it in Highlander as well. There's a 6-point life swing. In both, it's 12-point life swing because Eric's going to go down to 12 here. And Jake's going to go all the wiggity way up to 14 because that Shadow Spear is going to do some work here. And I mean, as I said before, we've seen this play pattern before in Modern where it's just like construct, get Shadow Spear, and it works. I mean, we're seeing here it's going to do a lot of damage.
What's happening here?
Just having a look at some cards, possibly for fun. We got back the initiative, and now we're scrying. So we're entering, I think, the lost pool, where it's just scry 2. So I like sending Eric to the trap room, as a lot of people have done in the past. But you have to commit to putting the counters on first. And I think it seems like Jake is prioritizing that scry 2 just to find something else a little bit more impactful.
Yeah. Because he knows he's going to about to lose the initiative back as well and probably take 5 himself.
Oh, you're right.
So he's about to
absolutely.
take 9. So
In
he
that-
was actually dead on board previous turn.
In that case, it's interesting to see how this game has played out, even from turn 1, because we started off with the expedition map, and we've ended with 2 constructs and a shadow spear. Like, it's not hard to see how 2 pieces came together like that.
Yeah, the map for the saga, especially because the academy was offline with no artifacts on the board, it's played out pretty well.
Yeah, really nice for Jake.
Would have been great last turn to see that 4-mana tap for cryptic command instead of. But I don't think we're at that place.
Yeah, almost. I want
These
to.
blue red decks do kind of.
We're leaning towards
cryptic,
it.
yeah.
In my very own household, I've been cryptic commanded more than once in the last 6 months. So I'll tell you what, it hurts. I forgot how much counter tap your team really sets you back a notch. You know.
Bounce the token, tap
Oh,
the team.
ouch, ouch, ouch. All right, Eric's tossing up how much the Shadow Spear is going to hurt him next turn, and the answer is quite a lot. He is pretty incentivized still to get in with that Fairy Mastermind.
Yeah, he just needs to see a lot of cards here.
Yeah, and
That's interesting.
that's a third or fourth activation of Fairy Mastermind, but he's
only
living a Vita
He's
Loca
only
right
drawing
now.
1 card there, though.
Yeah, having to do it in your turn is a bit awkward, but of course with this Thought Scout targeting me, we have the
Mills the Murktide, the brutal on this
Murktide would have been of
would have been great there.
fantastic. But it's nice to look at, of course. I don't think there's any way to raise dead in Eric's deck, and so he's just going to have to look at that 1 point in his graveyard and wish it was just maybe 1 card deeper.
Sending the team. So he's going to get in for 6 here, 5 plus the.
So we can block Ragavan with this 5/5 pretty happily.
Yep.
That's no problem, but we still just want to get in with that 2/2. So I see there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So getting in for 6 and then -5.
Oh yeah, of course. So we're going to 6 and then to 1. So damn, Eric.
No, in for 6 to 8. He's on 3. He's on 3.
Right. Right, you are. So we go to 3. We're pretty close. Eric does need a way to stop this lifelink, but other than that, he might be okay. I mean, Dragon's Rage Channeler does block a non-trampling construct token. We'll see. He does have 1 mana open, but maybe he's just going to take that hit again.
If he can somehow find a bolt.
We have I see Misstep in hand. Let's see. Something else is Prismatic Vista, so nothing too exciting happening on both sides by the looks of it, but through the power of hand cam cameras, maybe we can get a little look. So we see
Walking Blister.
I see Walking Ballista and a Khan. That's like, Khan's kind of awkward, obviously, with the Mishra's Factory, but
I think this is potentially lethal
oh yeah,
with the Ballista.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, he's got to play his cards right. He has 1 mana and float here from 1 artifact mana from the factory, or the workshop, I should say. But with Green Monolith, there's a ritual. Mox Opal is a ritual. Is this a really big? This is a really big Walking Ballista.
Casting it there, I think, is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen the days, so you don't have to play around days. It beats Spell Pierce.
It's Force Nation.
Doesn't beat Force of Will, unfortunately. Eric going to go down to 11 to fast cast that Force of Will. It's a bit of a shame for Jake because he did put all of his beans into it. Grim Monolith is not going to untap again. But, I mean, at least for the benefit, Jake does have a really, really big trampling construct here.
And has to block.
Yeah, has to block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's a 7 points on both sides again. So Eric's going to go down to 4. Jake's going to go back up to 10. And
10 plays 4.
Sweet. Look how
Got
good
the 10
we
4
are.
on that one.
Got the 10 4 on that one. All right. It's fantastic, and that was exactly what Eric needed as well. I mean, he'd run out of mana trying to
And did
activate
Jake get his
the.
initiative trigger there? What did he do?
So I guess he
After the scry, you get create a treasure token,
make
right?
you either make a treasure or you make a
The guy comes
the
later.
guy.
The
Okay,
guy comes later.
guy comes later.
So he has a treasure token somewhere, which might be that thing with the
Um,
dice on it. No, it's a blast zone, isn't it?
Do we have an initiative trigger? Oh, perfect. I just can't see the treasure is all I'm saying. All right, we're gonna figure out. Oh,
there it is,
sorry,
yeah.
it's just slightly off screen. Yeah, all good, all good. So treasure there. I'm hiding under the life bar.
Yeah, it's an intense spot. It's a fiery confluence. It's
Oh, very confluent would be really nice right now, but no, it's Lorien revealed, a newcomer from the Lord of the Rings set, and definitely one that's seen
Eric
a
is
lot
really
of play.
digging here.
Really digging. Yeah, we still have a little bit of treasure from the Ragavan, and we're gonna keep
Attacking,
getting in.
so
Yeah, we're not
goes to
blocking.
4.
We're close. It's looking really tight. I mean, Jake. I mean, Eric's gonna keep looking for something because this trampling lifelinker has got to be taken care of. And we might see it
What does he
here.
find?
Oh, it's a recall.
That's an insane draw to top there.
Oh, nice one.
Better
Yeah.
than Ancestral Recall.
Better than Ancestral Recall here. Absolutely. The low cost of 2 mana, Eric is going to bounce all of Jake's artifacts back to his hand. Things that he can't bounce back to his hand is those 2 constructs.
Oh.
And they're gone. We can get the initiative back, yes, but it's not going to set him through the trap. And that was an incredible draw.
How's he going to get the initiative back?
By just replaying the tomb. Turn. Yeah. So he can replay the time. It's just a little bit dinky. I mean, we're not going through the trap
And
room.
you're dead on board.
And you're dead on board. So it's, you got to do something. That was an incredible draw by Eric.
Jake checking there what free spells he has to watch out for, asking about Days, Force of Will.
We're checking. We've seen Days. We've seen Force of Will.
Force of Negation still
Force
in
of
the deck.
Negation still in the deck.
Confirmed there by Eric.
All right, thank you, Eric. Very polite to let your opponent know what cards left in your deck.
Ghost Quarter
Ghost
there.
Quarter here. That's a nice little. I like Ghost Quarter as well in these lists. He is just going to play out his hand here again. Will it be enough though? I'm not 100% sure. This Blast Zone awkwardly on 1 charge counter, so not quite enough to take out these two CMC threats. We'll see what's next.
Mox coming next.
Mox coming in, so just a little bit of mana from the workshop. Lots of mana from these mana rocks, but unfortunately the Walking Ballista X a million has already been played. The last little bits in his hand, we'll have to have a quick look and see if there's anything here that might be influential. We remember the Tomb and we remember the Shadow Spear. I think that's about it. We see the Khan, Scion of Urza. The Khan's not going to stop this flying threat. And Eric looks like
this is a wrap up here.
Yeah, it looks like
I'm
it.
not sure
And,
if there's a way out here for our shops player.
and for our shop player, and for fans at home, it might be better for Jake because I think Eric has a Fiery Confluence in his hand.
Does he actually?
I think so. So it's like if we manage to get out of it, it's just lights out. I mean, the best thing about Fiery Confluence, it actually also just deals 6 to the face.
Yeah.
So it's like if you had something like that, which I believe he
Jake's
does.
floating some mana.
We might, I think the only out, if he doesn't have anything else that's exciting, he might just try and put Khan onto the battlefield here, tick up Khan to reveal the top 2 cards, and these top 2 cards have to be banger, and they're not. So Welding Jar, Ancient Den, one of them of Eric's choice goes under Khan, and the other one goes into hand, but a land, not going to do it. We needed banger.
And already played the Ghost Quarter too.
And that's it. All right. Incredible.
Great game.
Yeah, that was fantastic and great to see. Sort of really swingy game 1, really swingy game 2, and even at that end point, Jake was on the ropes.
Mulligan to 5.
Yeah, and a mulligan to 5. That was huge.
And often Urza Saga into a deck with Blood Moons that you usually don't get to see the Urza Saga do that. So
yeah, 100%.
Very resilient deck.
Urza Saga, good when it's good. And we saw its power there, but it just wasn't quite enough to get through Eric's onslaught. Lovely. All right, well, that was actually it for the night. That was 3 rounds. Eric is going to take the 3-0 tonight, so congratulations to Eric. We'll post these up on our VODs. You can catch them at youtube.com/CBRMTG in all its glory. Thank you so much, Jordan, for joining us.
You're welcome.
And we'll see you next time.